guys, this is Shiv from Malcure. It is around 2:30 late night or morning, and we got an infected website, so I just thought I'd record a video. So essentially this video is meant for anyone who's got a website infected, or if you provide website security services, for example malware cleanup and everything, so those can watch this. Also, if you have your own website or if you're a website owner, this video will come in very handy, because most of the times when a website is infected, you would not come to know until unless some visitor sends you a mail or picks up the phone and calls you. Most of the time, as a website owner, you would not realize that your website is infected. In my personal experience, it's always been the case that one of the visitors actually reported the malicious redirect or some sort of a malicious download to the website owner, and that is how it came to their attention, and that is when they approach us to have their website cleaned. So now there are several approaches to cleaning up a website. Most of the people, what they do is they would actually delete the core files of WordPress, and then they would just reinstall WordPress and import the data back on, something of that sort. But that is tricky, and you would never come to know how exactly the website infection got there, how your website got infected in the first place, what it was that actually got your website infected, right? So that's that. And sometimes it also happens that people get frustrated, they delete the website and they start from scratch, and that would be a real shame to just let go of everything and restart from scratch. So here we are going to clean up this website. The most important thing is to understand how the infection got in, know exactly which files are infected, and clean up those files or those traces of malware, be that in the database or be that in the files, and keeping a track of what exactly we did all through this, and then to monitor the website, whether the infection comes back again or if the website stays clean. Because what happens is, once you clean up the website, these bots or hackers, they actually get peeved off and they try to attack your website all the more. So once you clean up the website, in the next 1 month or 2 months, you may see increased attacks, because they are just frustrated hackers trying to get back into the website. Now, one approach is also that sometimes people, when their website is infected, they just restore the website from backup. However, as clean as it may seem, chances are high that even your backup is infected, because most of the backups, they are automated. They are taken every week or daily or something. So let's say you have a backup from the last week and your website was infected last week as well. If that was the status of your website last week, then chances are that backup is infected. And if you restore the backup, nothing's gonna change. All you end up doing is restoring an infected backup over an infected website, and you'll lose the progress you've made in the last few days. So as a professional service provider, what we're going to do is we're going to clean up this website. I'm going to track exactly what we did, so that we have a report to send back to the client as well. And it also helps us keep a track of what we did, what changes did we make, if there's something that we touched which may have resulted in a broken website or could cause any potential issues going forward. This also allows us to do a proper incident review. So in an incident review, what you do is, after you've solved the problem, you basically go back to the problem and try to understand how exactly did the problem occur, what steps did we take, and if the problem is resolved for good and for the long term. This also helps you identify if there are any areas of improvement or in the future, if this problem occurs, how to prevent this thing and how to handle it more effectively, just in case if it does happen in the future. All right, so let's get started. One of the most important things you need to do before you start anything or you even touch a website, whether yours or your clients or anyone else's, is that you must take a backup. All right, this actually helps you be more responsible, just in case if there is any problem with the website. You can always at least revert it back to a condition, even though infected, but at least it was up, right? And then you can start from scratch or trace your steps back or do whatever you want to do, but never try to do anything without a backup, because you never know what kind of malware you're handling and how it works. So I've already taken a backup here. The first thing you'd need to do is you need to activate some sort of a maintenance mode or disable your website for public, because what's happening basically is that all the visitors who are coming to your website, they would be redirected to the rogue website, or it may trigger some sort of a malware download or something of that sort, right? So the best thing is, first step, protect your visitors. One of the other effects also is that if a website is infected, Google search would crawl your website, and if Google identifies that your website is infected, they would actually blacklist your website. So the sooner you put it into maintenance mode, the better it is. So I've just installed this maintenance mode plugin, and from here we're going to take it forward. I'll just verify that it is actually in maintenance mode. So I'm logged into this website. I'm going to open it in an incognito window, and just to verify, yep, so this is in maintenance mode. Now, if you're on cPanel or if you have a good web host, they would actually go ahead and scan the website for you. But you can't, I would not say that is very reliable, because they sort of, use all sorts of tools, and there is ClamAV, and then but it's difficult that you would get anyone to do a manual inspection of whether they found the infection, the entire infection, what exactly are the files they deleted or cleaned, if there was any loss of files or data or that sort of thing, right? So even we use several scripts. However, we are going to use a plugin for now. You can use any plugin, for example, WordFence or that sort of stuff. There's our own plugin, which has some added advantages over other scanners, and we are going to go with this one for this particular cleanup. So I've just enabled it, and on the left hand side you would see Malco scan, and this is the dashboard. So before I start the cleanup, I'm just going to go ahead and put in a license key so that I'm able to take advantage of. Alright, so the plugin is active now. The premium version is active, and if you refresh it, you would see that you're donning the advanced edition. So basically there's some sort of functionality enhancement, for example, automatic update and all that thing. Nonetheless, this is going to be the same whether you're using the free version or the paid version, because the free version detects everything as well. So I'm just going to start the scan. Now there are some advanced options here. If you want to search for any specific string or a regular expression in the files, so you can type in that string here. It has to be in the format of a PHP regex. And then you can also search for strings in the database. If you just want to scan a single file just to ensure whether that file is infected or clean, you can type in the absolute path of that file, or you can scan a single directory. You can choose to scan the database or scan files only. By default, both are selected. And if you're not able to clean up the malware, or if you think that there are suspicious files or some kind of a hidden malware, then you can use the paranoia mode. So this one actually does a deep scan and also tries to match suspicious files. So you'll actually have to verify them manually before you take any cleanup steps. And here you can see the system status. So this thing actually gives you some website details. For example, the website URL, the exact directory on the server where this website is installed, WordPress version, WordPress language, is this WordPress multi-site, what is the active theme, and if there is a parent theme. For example, this specific website is using this theme. However, the active theme is basically a child theme, right? And then there are user roles here. So administrator, editor, author, contributor, subscriber, and all these user roles are here. Some sort of malware, some types of malware actually, create hidden user roles. For example, another hidden role which would have all the privileges of administrator. So this comes in handy to verify if there are any additional roles which have been added here. And then, are there any must-use plugins? So if there are any must-use plugins, they would show up here. Must-use plugins are the ones that you cannot go to the plugins screen and disable. So they can't be disabled from here. Drop-ins are the plugins which are installed inside plugins folder, but they do not have a parent folder. So they are directly dropped inside the plugins folder. So these are the ones currently installed. There's a PHP version, Apache version, and server details. Other details such as the number of files, the version of the definition, when was the definition added, and here are the sessions which are logged into this website right now. So if you want, you can just go ahead and click on log out all users, and it will log out any logged in users that you have on the website. Then it also shows hidden files and folders. So sometimes you may connect to FileZilla or FTP, and you may not be able to see the hidden files. So there's just a quick and easy way to figure out if there are any hidden files on the server. For example, htaccess files and all these DS store files. Unless you've turned on the settings to show hidden files, you may not be able to see them from the file manager. And then, if you do not actually have access to a file manager, you can quickly see which directory has how many number of files. And then there are details about PHP configuration. So this is for advanced users. So before we start the scan, here you can change the number of files it scans per batch. So I typically set it to 10 on a slow server, and if you have a dedicated server or a high-speed hosting, then you can actually go as high as 100. So I'll just click on this, and it is started initializing, and we'll just wait a bit. So the scan has started. So you can download this plugin from here, wordpress.org. Just type in malware scanner, and it has some good reviews and decent number of active installations. It's just been an year or so since the launch. Alright, so it has found these infections. Let's see whether it has completed the scan or not. It is still scanning. Now when Malcure detects any infection, it would put a message here to notify the admins that the site is actually infected. This is important for security reasons, because it is critical for the website owners. It is essential for the website owners to be aware that their website is actually infected. And that is why, unless you clean up this website or you disable and delete this plugin, this message is stuck here to give you a heads up and alert you about this severe issue on the website. So here on the interface, it shows you the checksums, the signatures, how many types of malware it can detect. So 4,649. So there are permutation and combinations of these signatures, so it can detect way more than 4,600. These are just number of patterns we're using for now. There's a version of the signature. This signature or the definitions were last updated 3 hours ago. We have a total of 16,000 files. There are some files which are either too giant, so we have skipped those. Typically what happens is that if there are very big files like 1 GB or 500 MB, so there are typically backups, and we don't scan those because malware does not work directly from such large files, right? If it is inside an archive, it would have to be extracted before it would be able to do anything. These are number of files to scan. 14,870 files remaining. Time elapsed is 3 minutes 11 seconds. It's saying 39:26 remaining. However, we'll just wait and watch how much it takes. So it says 6 files per second. I'm hoping that this would actually go up now. Now these are quite some infections. Seems like this is a cache directory, and if you click on this thing, it would show you the details of the infection. So it says file infecting malware and doc type, title, keywords. So someone has inserted spam keywords. Here's a brief. Code often seen in spam generation, HTML spam templates. So these are the keywords. So they have someone has hacked in and inserted keywords into this spam keywords into this website. Now, often people ask, how did the website get infected? So most of the times it happens because of some security holes. For example, this website does not have HTTPS certificate, SSL certificate, so it is still running the old HTTP version. It was supposed to use HTTPS, so it says not secure over here. Then sometimes you would find that someone has gone ahead and installed some pirated themes or nulled themes or nulled plugins, that sort of thing. So those come with some sort of a hidden malware inside those templates and code, and when you install and activate those, so they actually infect the website. I think it's going to go faster now. You can see the time remaining is decreasing faster. I'm going to pause the video in between just in case if it takes too long. 2:53 at night. Can you hear the insects? Can you hear the background, the acoustics of a night? This scans alphabetically, so right now it is in plugins and W, so it's scanning the plugin itself, just in case if the plugin is infected. Scanning themes. Almost there. 63%. Now the beauty about this thing is that it does not skip any files unless they are binary files, which are extremely huge in size, which have absolutely zero chances of a malware. This would scan your images, this would scan your small archives, PDFs, JPEGs. It'll scan every file. It would not leave any file without scanning. Alright, out of 16,000, only 1,000 files are remaining, 1,200 something. Almost there. Now sometimes any files that failed to scan, for example, they were either not accessible, or if the network went down, or anything in between. So what it does, it makes another run, and it tries to rescan the failed files. So that is what it is doing right now. Alright, so the sketch is completed. And here's a list of all the files which are infected. Now one thing you can do and go and do is you can see these are cache and everything. So before taking any attempt to inspect or remedy this, we're just going to copy these results and save it so that we know what exactly were the results and what exactly did we clean up. All right. I'm just going to save it on the desktop for now. Alright. That done. What you can do is to inspect this thing, you can click here and it will scroll down and show you what exactly this thing is trying to do. And if you understand, somebody has inserted one way is to correlate this thing with the we have already have the details. So essentially something has been inserted before the doc type, and then there are some keywords. So just go here. So you see there's something that has been inserted before the doc type, and then somebody is using some sort of a template to insert keywords dynamically into this thing. So that's the thing. Alright, so we already have a list of files. There's nothing in the database for now. So what I'm going to do is, first we just have to kill the cache, because there are so many files in the cache and we don't need these. I'll just go to this specific folder, cache. So I'm connected via FTP. I'll just type in the path here. All right, here we are. Delete these. There's just cache, so these files will be regenerated once the site goes live again. So the files are deleted now, and what I'm going to do is I just find it easier to minimize this clutter. So we're just going to do another scan, which would supposed to go very fast this time. Since we did not detect anything in the database, what we're going to do is we'll just disable this scan database, because this site seems to have a very giant database and get stuck over there. So rescan is going to clear the results. Yes, okay. There it starts. And this time it is doing a far faster job of scanning. Is scanning 50 files per second. That is the speed it has attained. So this time it's gone almost at 52 files per second. It's taken about 5 minutes almost there. Okay, so these are the files which are infected, and let's inspect these. So this one is index.php. I'm not going to analyze everything, but just a briefly we'll analyze this thing. So there's PHP, there's a command, and it's trying to include something, and it's essentially trying to include a file. So these are characters which are encoded in this format, and I will tell you exactly what it's trying to include. So this file is trying to include that. I'm pretty sure this is also trying to do the same thing. It is also including a file, and we'll know about it in a sec. This one, let's see this one. Not sure what this one is, so we'll just first try to see. Has the same issue, so there must be something here in the keywords. Yep, inserting dynamic keywords in this one as well. All these, then there's sitemap, of course, which is going to be infected. So let's just start cleaning up these, cleaning these up one by one. But before we clean this one up, I'm just going to tell you what exactly it's trying to do. So these are, entities for characters, ASCII characters, and they are going to a path. And the long and short of it is they're trying to include a file. Basically, it's an icon file. So /143 is a entity for the character C, and this file has also been detected here. If you can see this one, right? So from the elegant theme cache folder 42, there's a file that has been you need to decode that thing to be able to figure it out. We'll just inspect this file, because this seems to be the root of all issues. C. This is the code, cryptic piece of thing. You can go ahead and decode it if you have the time and patience. So first thing, since all these files seem to be doing the same thing, I'm also going to check this one. So yeah, these files have been generated, auto-generated by this malware. This is certainly malware, because you see this cryptic name. Yeah, and there's all cryptic code. So I'm going to start cleaning up the severe ones. Of course, I've taken the backup, so I can always go ahead and restore these files, right? So click on this one, and what I can do is I can clean up, and it would say no, this file is not repairable because this is not a part of WordPress, right? This is a malware file, so you just have to delete it, and delete it successfully. We'll do the same thing here. Delete. If you try to delete a file which is a part of WordPress, it would not let you delete, so you have that safety over there. This one again, it says package WordPress, but this stuff is a form, embedded form hidden inside this, and excuse me. So this is the, seems like base 64 encoded or something of the sort. Delete. Okay. Sitemap.xml, we are going to delete this one as well because we don't need this. This is just an empty file. Delete. This one. Delete. This one again. This one is inside docs. So let's see what this is. There's again inserting these keywords, I think. Just do it. This thing, yeah. Keyword is dynamically inserting malicious keywords or spammy keywords in the title. So this would actually botch up the search engine optimization of this website. Let's try this one. It's just automatically created by malware. This one as well. Delete. This one, let's see, is it deleted? It's not been deleted. This one we need to delete. Done. This is the actual malware. So you see all this cryptic code. It's very interesting to study this one. It seems like URL encoding of some sort. This again is a text file, which is a very cryptic name. We'll just see what it does. So it's just got some sort of a code which malware picks up and uses. This again has just some string or text characters, but it's not supposed to be there. That's why it's suspicious or unknown. We'll try this as well. See, these are the keywords that it was inserting in those titles. So a tag on Titan, and you'll find all sorts of keywords over here. Some not family friendly. Just delete it. There's another list here. So we delete this one as well. Just keywords, which list of keywords it was picking up and inserting into. Okay. Finally, we are at sitemap XML. We just need to regenerate the sitemap because it has infected the sitemap as well. So I'm just going to delete the sitemap and then we'll take it from there. Now, although we've cleaned it up, I wanted to show you something else here. So if you have access to the shell SSH, you can go ahead and use WP-CLI to use the Malcure plugin to scan the website from the command line, and this goes way faster than using this plugin in the browser. So I'll just hit enter and we'll let it do its magic. It starts like this. Just going to take a bit to scan the database, and then it's going to start showing the progress. It's got 14,703 files and going pretty fast, as you can see. So as you can see, it's almost 92%, and this time it estimated that this would complete in approximately 3 months. Just gone a little over 3, 98, 99, and 100. So malware scan completed in 3 months. It did not find any infection, right? So we just go ahead and reload this and see how fast this goes on the front end. And once you scan from the front end, you would see that this notice disappears. You can actually also scan the website from the front end of Valkyrie. I just go to web scan and enter the website. So this was detected as infected. So on the command line, it took us 3 minutes 8 seconds. Here it's saying 3 minutes 13 seconds or something. We'll just come back to it and see the performance difference as well. Alright, so as you can see, it took 3 minutes 44 seconds as against 3 minutes 8 seconds here. And it has come up clean. So there's a free plugin. The donations and the purchases help us invest more time and effort to improve the product. Now that this site has come up clean, we'll just refresh this page and verify that this message is gone. Reload. There you have it. Now before you touch anything else, now is an excellent time to take another backup of the website, so that just in case if it does get infected, you don't have to start from scratch. You can start from this point, right, when the website was clean and the latest with all the content saved and preserved. So take a backup of this website, go to maintenance mode, deactivate the maintenance mode. At this point, what we do is we'll just send a screenshot to the customer that their website actually is clean, and you can just go here and put in let's scan the site. Just want to make sure that that's fine. At this point, you can take a screenshot of this thing, and once it shows up clean here, you can take a screenshot of this thing. Shows up clean here, you can take a screenshot of that thing as well, just as a proof of a clean site, and share with the customer. So just in case if the customer says no, there's a problem, then you can always tell them. Now one critical thing which sometimes is missed, which is oftentimes is mixed as missed, is that you also need to clear up the cache, right? Because often if there are redirects or something of that sort, you almost always have to clear the cache. Otherwise, even though there is no malware on the back end of the website, there's nothing actually on the website, but that cache would continue to redirect visitors to rogue places, and it would also, that cache would also affect the CDN if you are using a content distribution network. So always clear the cache after the website you've cleaned up a website. Always make sure that you tighten the website security. So I would request this customer to go ahead and install an SSL certificate and take care of all these pending updates. We do not update anything because it is client's website and they're in the best position to understand if there is any update which would which has any chances to break anything. For example, sometimes you would have e-commerce like WooCommerce or easy digital downloads and lots of sales data and all that thing. So we don't update or do anything outside the scope of work because that is best handled by the customer themselves. However, you have to tell them clearly that once you've cleaned up the site, it is their responsibility to ensure that the site stays clean. They have to do their due diligence, and if there's any recurrence of the malware because of these issues, because of negligence, then that typically should not be covered. So here we are. The front end scanner takes a bit. We already deactivated this. We might as well go ahead and deactivate this plugin itself. So there's the maintenance mode. Oops, settings. No, we don't want that. We want to deactivate it. We're waiting on this one. Okay, the report is ready. I'll just go ahead and check the report. So nothing detected. If it detected anything, it would show that red interface. Same here. And so the site is clean. We'll keep a watch on this one for the next 24 to 48 hours. And we'll do another scan over that time. Just in case if there is a recurrence, then you have to investigate it further and, dig deep into it and see what's gone wrong where. If there's anything got to do with cache, or if the customers actually updated these things or not. All those sort of things. And then obviously you go ahead and ask the customer to change the password, because you have to tell the customer that you're not going to be responsible just in case if anything happens to this website, because of there's a rare chance that if there's anything bad, if someone does anything bad to this website, the customer can always come back and say, see, we gave you access and it's possible that you might have done this. So no, we cleaned up the website, close the case. It is your responsibility to change the password. If you don't change the passwords, if you do not care about the access, then it is not our responsibility. We will not be answerable in that condition. However, what we've done today is we've made sure that the website is clean. We've gone through the entire process. We've documented everything, and just in case if there is a recurrence, we are in a position to investigate it further. If there's anything, any sort of a breakage or damage to the website, we are in a position to revert the website back to the same condition as we started with. And this is how you deliver a professional website malware cleanup service. Thank you for watching. It's about to be 4 a.m. so I'll get some rest. If you have any questions, please do subscribe and ask away. We'll cover the questions in a future video. Thank you.